What's up guys, welcome to the channel and welcome back to 458 Destroyer's Garage, where today is a great day. Now every day is a good day in the garage because we're surrounded by so many incredible machines, but today I want to share with you one machine that is nothing less than the most powerful road-going Ferrari ever made. This, of course, is the Ferrari SF90 Spider. Now, this is actually one of two in 458's collection, and for those keen-eyed, you'll notice this is the Spider variant. The other one is actually a white SF90 Stradale. It's just not here in the garage today, so this is the one we're going to take a look at. Now, since I just said this was the most powerful Ferrari ever, let's go ahead and start back here and talk about this incredible engine underneath this transparent engine cover. Now, we're going to take a closer look at it later, but under here is a 4-liter twin-turbocharged V8 that makes 769 horsepower. We've got one electric motor in the rear. We've got two electric motors driving independently each front wheel, and combined this car makes 1,000 metric horsepower. But here in America, we call that 986, which still puts it at the top of the list. With all that power driving all four wheels, you would expect the SF90 to be pretty quick, and you'd be absolutely correct. This car is ballistically fast. Now, taking a closer look at some of the details of this particular SF90, which is finished in Nero Black and covered in this awesome satin paint protection film, which gives it this crazy stealth fighter look. I mean, this car looks crazy impressive and super cool driving down the road. Now, getting up a little bit closer, these are these awesome carbon fiber wheels. We've got the huge carbon ceramic brakes. We've got these inlets coming under here underneath the front headlights. We've got our huge inlets in the front and this really sculpted, super aggressive front nose. Coming around the side, taking a look at some of these details of all these little aerodynamic channels that they've built in around the car and engineered to give this car the most downforce, and every design element seems like it was put there for a purpose. We've got these beautiful sculpted lines around the underside of the door, the huge carbon fiber inlets on each of the shoulders, and of course coming back to this really awesome, beautiful transparent engine cover where underneath lies the source of this car's ballistic speed. I mean, just look at these crazy aerodynamic diffusers here in the back. This whole setup is just ridiculous. I really am a big fan too of the taillights. I think that's such a cool shape, despite the fact that some people say they just look like the 6th gen Camaro taillights. I don't know, they fit the design really well for me, and I absolutely love the center exit exhaust. And I actually just noticed this really cool detail too. Check out this, how the emblem for the prancing horse actually extends past the body panel. That's actually really cool to me. The more time you spin with the car, you see all these really cool little details that you never noticed before, which is what makes cars like this so cool to be around. Now, we're gonna pop the engine cover and take a closer look here in a second, but let's start real quick here up the front and get the bad out of the way first, because I will say, as impressive and amazing as the SF90 is on all its performance regards, as far as being a practical daily driver slash travel car, unlike the 812, which is fantastic at that, we're about to see really quick why the SF90 is not that. Lifting the front hood, we can see some really cool packaging of the front electric system for the drive. However, this is the entire trunk space right here. This is all you have to travel for as long as you're going to go. So I guess the secret is just pack lightly, unless you bring the Ferrari charging cable for the plug-in hybrid system, in which case you can pretty much pack like a t-shirt and a toothbrush and that's about it. But in a car like this, who cares about any of that stuff? If somebody offered me the SF90 for a road trip car, I will make this compartment work for me. Now, as promised, moving on back to take a look at the absolute monster powering this car. Let's pop this here and take a look at the 4-liter V8 sunken way down in here. And when I say sunken down in here, I mean really seriously sunken down in here. This engine is so low. It's so crazy to look back here for the first time and realize just how low this engine is. I mean, a 4-liter is not a huge engine, but that's still a 4-liter V8 sitting lower than my knee height. I mean, that's crazy. Now, before we take the SF90 out for a drive, while we're here in the garage, I also wanted to make a mention of this incredible car right here too. This is the Ferrari 296. But these cars share a ton of similarities together that I think are really cool to talk about, because the SF90, it's a twin-turbo V8 plug-in hybrid system with all-wheel drive, whereas the 296 is a V6 twin turbocharged plug-in hybrid system that's rear-wheel drive. So a lot of the people in the garage that had the chance to drive the SF90 and the 296 say that the 296 is almost like a baby distilled version of the SF90. But we're gonna talk about the 296 another day. I really wanna talk about it because it's such a cool car, and with this exhaust, it sounds amazing. But we're gonna hop in the SF90 and go ahead and get going out on the road. Now, of course, we have Ferrari's newer square key design, which fits really cool in the console, which I'll show in just a second. Tucks right in there. How cool is that? Welcome everyone to the Ferrari SF90. I think the first thing that you guys, most people would probably want to know about is that claim that I made at the very beginning of this video, which is that this is the most powerful production car Ferrari has ever made. So can this car live up to that? Because that's some really big shoes to fill. Ferrari's made a lot of really fast cars in the past, so how does this stack up? Well, let's find out. Put it in race. Come to a stop, first gear, engage, launch control, and just hang on tight. God! Jesus Christ, holy Woo! This car is wildly impressive. Good Lord, from a standing start, a completely factory production car, this is nuts. I'm really shocked that it's something that just anyone with enough money can buy a car and do this on the road. Sure. Can I say that? Yes, you could do this on the road, right? Ferrari claims that this will do 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds, but every automotive journal that I've read through that has had one of these cars and done instrumented testing has been significantly quicker than that. So with ballistic performance like that, you're probably wondering, what's this car really like to drive? Now, it's fun to do those launches, but a lot of those are automated, right? I'm just holding the wheel straight, keeping my foot down, and all the computers are keeping me pointed in the right direction as quickly as possible. But on the narrow back roads like these that we drive very regularly and at quite a brisk pace, the SF90 is a lot. I mean, to put it into perspective, or another analogy is like, imagine you're probably familiar with, say, a really fast car. What you do is you put your foot down, the revs build, change gears, put back in it, more revs, change gears, and then you're going pretty quick. With the SF90, you put your foot down in any gear, at any speed, any RPM, on any road, and immediately you are very far from where you started. This car is so quick. I mean, it's just a street legal missile. It makes these back roads less fun because there's not enough space between the turns. And the car does have a bit more weight than a car like the 296, which I think is kind of like the closest relatable car. They're both hybrid, twin turbocharged, you know, super high performance mid-engine cars from Ferrari. This car is nuts. Everybody that gets in it, it's not like, especially like non-car people, are just, their mind's blown. But enough talking about the performance, because I just don't know if it's gonna come through on camera just how crazy this car is. So let's talk more about what it's like to drive the SF90 when you're not launching it off from stoplights. First things first, I really do not like the touch buttons on the steering wheel and on the dash that control things like the air conditioning. I don't mind the one on the mode, but like changing the screens is a nightmare. I just don't like them. It's so hard to use. It's like the same layout in the 296. I had that same complaint. It's just not my favorite. I wish we had physical buttons for the things on the steering wheel. Having said that, there's so much on the steering wheel nowadays that maybe it would be too cluttered with all the buttons. I don't know. If you're really driving it the way that you're supposed to, none of these buttons matter at all. Just forget them. Set everything the way you want it, put it in race, put it in qualifying, manual, and leave it alone. Just drive the car. The only button that I do like to press very often, especially on days like today, is this one down here, which lowers the roof. Because like I said, this is the SF90 Spider. And so on days like today, you get the chance to take the top down and experience the most powerful ever Ferrari hairdryer. So that kind of sums up the SF90. It's just ballistically quick, like just stupidly insanely head-alteringly quick. If you guys enjoyed this, I really thank you for sticking around for this long. If you enjoyed it, make sure you like the video, share it. And if you're new to the channel, what's up? I want to say Charlie. I help make content for the channel. Make sure you subscribe if you're not, and check out the channel for more. See you guys.